Good morning, everyone. Hi. Okay, there we are, just getting everything rolling here. And so we're going to do a couple things today, several, and where do we start? Okay, let's start with things that are always an experiment, right? So I'm actually going to start with a continuation of yesterday. So yesterday we made the sweet potato carrot, it was stuffed with a portobello mushroom. So we made sweet potato carrot blend, like a oh gosh, I can't think of the name of it, kind of like mashed, you know. And here it is. I'll show you. That way I don't have to explain it. So we have the, this was like, we put it through the Vitamix and we stuffed the teriyaki portobellos with it. And it was amazing. It was a really nice blend because this is, I'm just going to dump it in here because we're going to turn the rest of it into sweet potato carrot soup. So, you know, like I say on a lot of my shows, I don't know if this is a show or not. Whatever, my cooking things, videos. But this already has the beautiful ingredients in it. So it has the sweet potatoes, and it has the carrots. And then what we did was we added ginger, we added turmeric, we added, let me think about this, cayenne, and all that stuff. Anyways, if you want to know exactly what's in it, you can watch the video from yesterday. So what we're going to do is you know, often with my videos, I will often say to, you know, make extra of whatever it is that you're making, and then that way, I'm just looking at what else I need for utensils here, and I think I'm allowed to use this. Yeah, so that way you have something like for another recipe either the following day or, you know, a day or so later, and then it's one less thing that you have to do, right? And so if there's one less thing that you have to do, and you can make it healthy eating and healthy food, then, you know, why not? So we're going to put that in there. And so, you know, this is like way too simple, you guys. It actually feels funny even offering it, but everybody just seems so interested in what I'm doing all the time. Kathy, hi, good morning. So yeah, so yesterday we made that, and so I'm going to do the most simplest thing ever. I'm going to switch it up a bit because it was more of a sweet potato carrot, gingery, spicy, turmeric, cayenne, that kind of thing. And so we're going to switch it up a little bit and add a little bit more of the, like the Eastern spices, which is the coriander. So we're going to change it a bit, find the right little opening here to add some coriander, and add some coconut milk. So that's going to be awesome. And a little bit of cumin as well. So we're adding those Indian spices. I am going to add some extra cayenne because yesterday it was nice and gingery, but in this case I'd like it to have a little bit more heat. So the cayenne is in there for the a little more cayenne for the heat, and then we're just going to add some coconut oil. So the rest of the recipes are going to be an experiment, but this is like way too easy. But you know, when you're making anything, whether it's whatever it is, whatever vegetables you're making or whatever you're making, oh, this is going to be fun. Try and get this out without throwing it all over myself. I'll just open it halfways, and that way we're not going to have too many surprises here. Okay, so we're going to add the coconut milk to it. And this is a different brand than I usually use. This is like the normal stuff, which is like half milk and half cream, you know, so to speak. The other one I use is, I think it's from Thailand, and it's very creamy. It's like the whole thing is almost creamy. So anyways, so we have that. And so we're just going to put this together. So it'll make like a super creamy, rich, you know, sweet potato carrot soup. So you could add things to this if you want. You can add, I have here some, I was going to do this and I think I'm not now. I have some baked potatoes. So it's going to kind of make it a sweet potato, carrot soup. But you know what? I think I just changed my mind on that because it looks so beautiful just the way it is. The other thing you could do, you know, you could add some other spices too, but that just looks absolutely lovely just the way it is. So I'm going to leave that, and that was like way too easy for you guys. Hey Barb, hi, good morning. And I think I'm missing Jane. Hi Jane, Darlene, I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to see. Sometimes the little comments go up and I miss people. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to put those spices there so I don't forget what I've done. We're going to take some, we're going to do a couple different things here. Where am I looking? Where am I looking at all my different, I have 2 more recipes that we're going to work with. And so I might as well go on to this one first. So we'll set the lemons aside. This is kind of a continuation from the other day too. So it's so much fun, you know, when you make something and you love it so much and then you make extra, then it's like so easy. Just go back and either add to it or change it or, you know, use it or whatever. So this is dates and mixed nuts. So this has, I think I put hazelnuts, pecans, and walnuts, I believe, in this one, and with dates. And then we just put it in the Vitamix and then you just press it in there. It helps if you put it in the freezer first, you know, to kind of get it solid. But this is like the crust that you can use for any kind of dessert that you want kind of a nutty sweet flavor. This would be really good if you were making, like if you were trying to make a pecan pie or something like that. Most of these recipes are made mostly raw. That's the word I'm looking for. But anyways, this is a base. And what we're going to do is we are going to put this together in the Vitamix, and we're going to add like another cheesecake, please cake. Hi, Minik, nice to see you here. So I do have the soaked walnuts. I had a super busy morning this morning, so I am definitely a little bit scattered. And that's the fun thing about when you do this kind of thing every day at 11, you know, there are other things happening in life, believe it or not. And so sometimes I just drained off the liquid from the walnuts, in case you were wondering. Yeah, sometimes it's like do a super busy early morning and then come back and do this, which I really love, and then off to the next thing, which is super cool and fun. And for those of you that know me, you know I like to have a really busy life and multitask, and it's just awesome that you guys are here to hang out with me and do these fun things, which are often an experiment. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to, we're just going to throw this in the Vitamix, and I apologize for having some of the stuff, like some of you have mentioned that you can't see everything I'm doing, but it's just the way the camera sets up and the way that the, you know, the little space that I have here to work in, it makes it a little bit hard to get everything in the camera. So walnuts, and then we're going to use raspberries. So this is going to be a raspberry please cake cheesecake. And these recipes can be pretty much found on Liz Forrest. Liz Forrest has Raw Juicy Living, and that's her Instagram and her website. And she just has the most amazing raw recipes. Like, she is really totally raw with all kinds of really fun, easy. I mean, there's nothing easier than throwing some nuts and some, you know, some chopped up dates in a blender for a crust, and then adding, you could add cashews to this, walnuts. Almonds have to be soaked for quite a while because they are you know, harder, tougher. So these are walnuts. You could use cashews, you could use hazelnuts, you could use pecans. So we're just going to dump the raspberries in here too. And those are my own raspberries, I'm proud to say, from my garden that I had in the freezer. So, so I'm excited about that. So we have that. And then what we're adding is a 1/3 cup of melted coconut oil. So we did this earlier in the week and it was just such a disaster. I think it was Monday. I added the coconut oil, which has to be above room temperature to melt, right? You know, otherwise if it goes down to, I don't know, 70 or something, Fahrenheit, I'm not very good at Celsius. And but anyway, room temperature, it will solidify. So I had taken my carefully warmed up coconut oil, which you need for this recipe, and I had added a cold liquid to it, and then it just solidified before I could blend it. So you definitely don't want to be doing that. Now I'm not really sure exactly, you know, it's always an experiment because you never know what certain foods are going to do with certain foods. But I'm hoping I don't need to add liquid to this because I would like these to be thicker. So I wanted this to be a thicker consistency, so I didn't want to add any. Oh, there's Jane. Hey, hi. Yeah, so I didn't want to add any liquid because I wanted thicker consistency. And at the same time, what I'm looking for is I want it to be creamy, which you could add a little bit of, I think it was yesterday I added some almond milk, I'm not sure, at room temperature so that you don't solidify your coconut oil. But I wanted it to be intensely raspberry. And the other thing that I have realized and that we played with, when did we make that? We made a chocolate mousse, was it last week? And so it was basically cocoa and a can of coconut milk and blended that. And so the more air you get into that, into the mousse, like the more air bubbles you get into it, the you know, the lighter it's going to be, especially when you're freezing it. And that's what we're doing, is we're putting this in the freezer. So when you do the freezer, oh, this is going to be lovely. I think I want to blend it some more though. Just, I'd like to get more air bubbles in there. Oh, you know what I forgot to add? Because these are raspberries from the garden and they're a little tart. And all this is raspberries and walnuts. We need to add a little bit of maple syrup. Or whatever sweetener you decide, you know, because the raspberries are tart. What was I going to say? Yeah, when you get the air bubbles in there and then you freeze it, it just makes it lighter like a mousse. And so we did it was super simple, same thing, like 3 ingredients. It was coconut, a can of coconut milk, pure organic cocoa powder, and a little bit of maple syrup. And then blend that up and stick it in the freezer. And oh my God. You also, during that video, I mentioned to put it in the fridge. It becomes more moussey when you freeze it. I'm not sure how much. I want it fairly tart, so I don't want to add too much. So I'm going to guess. I know you guys, I drive you crazy because I'm so terrible with measurements. And if anyone wants to volunteer writing down the measurements of what I do, I would so love that. We could do some kind of compensation for that if you know anybody looking for a little bit of extra work that likes to do and watch recipes. But anyways, oh God, what was my point? Oh, la 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 la. You guys can remind me what my point was. Anyway, I'm gonna try and get a little bit of a little more air bubbles in here, and okay. Okay. Can you guys see the blender? It's got a little tab there. I can't see everything that you're seeing, but I try to, which is why this is why this is a selfie and everything's backwards. I'm so sorry. But I'm not a professional video person, and so this is what we get. And we work with what we have, or what we've got. Okay, so this is awesome. Smells amazing. If you were working with, oh, I don't know, something that you would want to add vanilla to, you know, you can. And if you, oh, you know what? I should have saved a few raspberries, put a raspberry on top. I have some in the freezer, but I'm not going to go get them right now. But yeah, if you wanted to add vanilla to this, oh, I'm not being very even, am I? Oh God, you guys. Okay, let's just go like this. Okay, this is not looking pretty anymore, but that's okay, because I think I was saying something about working with what you have. Okay, all right, so yeah, what I'll do is I will grab a, you know what? I get distracted so easy. But all these things fly into my head like a million miles an hour. I actually do have live fresh raspberries out on the raspberry bush right now. Like unbelievable, unbelievable. We've had such a beautiful fall. And so I think what I'll do would be even better than frozen raspberries is to go out and get the fresh raspberries and stick them on there for a little garnish. Okay, so I don't know, did I make the exact amount? Did I not make enough? Am I going to be short? It's okay, because that the pie crust, so to speak, which is the mixed nuts with oh, I do have exactly the right amount, mixed nuts with the dates. You can use that to make as a base for power balls, you know, to make any kind of a really quick snack. You just take your nuts and your dates, or, you know, whatever you want to use. You could actually use like a maple syrup or something like that, and your nuts, and put them in the blender and make like a pie crust, and then you just put them in the freezer. And, oh God, I look so awkward. Okay, so I'll put this over here so it's not in the way. And then I'll put this over here. And it's going to be lovely. So, there you go. So there's that one. So this is, in case anybody's new and you missed it, it's not real pretty, but it's going to taste amazing. I'm sure we have some suggestions on how I could make that nicer. And that's okay, I'm open to that. That sounds awesome. And so, yeah, the chocolate mousse was amazing, oh my God. You just put it in the fridge. If you put it in the freezer, it really, it seems to bring more air into it. So, yeah, if you put the chocolate mousse recipe into the freezer, it makes it even more spectacularly moussey. So, hey, hi. Jennifer, nice to see you people on here. So, okay, so that's that one. Okay, we're going on to the next one here. And this is going to be, okay, I'm just thinking, I'm like, I need another, I do have all these little blendy things, and my Vitamix is dirty with the beautiful raspberry-ness. So we're gonna see how well my magic bullet is gonna, how tough they are. Okay, so why don't we move this here in my little tiny workspace. Gonna move this here. Okay, we're gonna move this back here and make sure that's off. And move this here. Okay, I did it. All right, so, and I look confused most of the time. But I have a miracle blender here and I have a magic bullet, and I always get confused as to what lids and things fit on what. So we're gonna go back to this. We're gonna set these guys here for the moment. Oh my God, okay. And we're gonna give this a try and hope this little baby can do the job I need it to do. Otherwise, what I could do, okay, let me think about this. Since my Vitamix has raspberries and walnuts in it, would it be weird to add, I'll tell you, the next recipe has lemons. Would it be weird to have oats, rolled oats and nuts and raspberries with a lemon? I think it might be okay. It'll be a little strange. You know what? Because I'm really afraid this is not going to handle the oats. I don't think it will. Okay, you know what? We're going to mix it up. Okay, we'll do it. All right, because we're going to use this anyways. All right, so back to plan A, plan B. And that's the nice thing about being flexible when you're cooking. One of the things, okay, I think I got most of it out of there anyways. One of the things that people have said that they really like about what I do is that it makes you not afraid to try anything and not afraid to mess up and have experiments go wrong. Most of the time you can do something else with a recipe that kind of goes sideways, even turn it into soup or whatever. You missed out what's in the wok. It's actually yesterday's recipe. This is the sweet potato carrot blend that we made with the ginger and and all the spices and everything, the stuffing that we put in the portobello. And so I just put that in because I had extra and added coconut milk and kind of switched it up into Indian with the cumin and the coriander. So it's like soup now, which is awesome. Okay, I know this guy can handle it, so we're going to use him, and we're going to have a little bit of raspberry, unexpected raspberry flavoring in the lemon bars. Okay, so, all right. I'm yapping way too much. Okay, so we have more or less, oh yeah, that's what I was going to do earlier, was I was going to try and measure out what we just did so you'd have the recipe, but I hope somebody was following along and wrote it down. I'm going to guess that's like almost a cup of pecans and the same amount of oats. So we're going to blend this, which is why I didn't really know for sure if the little guy could handle that. But I know the Vitamix can because it is an awesome machine. Well worth the money. We're going to just pat it down a little bit because it's sticking to the raspberry on the sides, which is okay too. And what I was saying about the Vitamix, I bought this thing like, I'm sure it was over 15 years ago. And I have definitely been trying to kill it ever since. And they are absolutely an amazing machine. Unfortunately, the little plastic carafe here is, it gets like, scratched from all the rocks I've put in it over the years, and probably a couple spoons too. I'm only kidding. Hard beans and stuff like that. This is going to be pretty good just with the oats in it, really. I mean, I could blend it some more, but it's going to be a little chunky anyway. So what we're making here, and I might as well pat down the rest of this raspberry so it blends. Oh my God, you guys. Okay. So what we're going to add to this, I may not need this after all. We'll see. Is that still warm? It's still warm. Okay. Okay. I distracted myself. So we're going to add some lemon to this. And I just want to push this out of the way. Just a little more room here. Okay. We're going to dust this off because I see that I sprinkled a little bit of the cumin from the soup onto here, and I have a clean towel here, so I'm just going to wipe this because I really don't want I don't mind if my lemon bars taste like raspberry, but I probably don't want them tasting like cumin or coriander. So just dust that off. Again, working in such a tiny space, you do tend to have things all blend together. So lovely. Okay, where am I? Okay, we have the rolled oats. We have the pecans, and we have just a teensy little bit of raspberry, and we're going to add lemon juice to this. Do I need a tamper? Well, no. I think, I don't really want to add much liquid to this, and it has a few oats randomly rolling around in there, and that's okay. I'm fine with that. Um, Unless you mean, do I need a tamper like to have here, or do I need to use a tamper? There's so many ways to interpret things, and that's one of the things about texting. And actually, you know what? That's what I brought this out for. So many different ways to interpret things, and I think that leads to a lot of confusion in general. And right now is such a confusing time, and people are experiencing so much anxiety. That's one of the reasons that I was saying yesterday, talking about finding things in your kitchen that really help you to strengthen your immune system, and to make sure that you stay healthy during these times, and also things that are calming, right? So things that make you feel good, and so that we tend to feel a little bit less out of control during these times. So yesterday we did, or I should say I did, some those little things, some thyme tea, Thyme. I did some thyme in my hot water and parsley. And so the thyme specifically is very antiviral, and has a lot of properties, a lot of antiviral properties, and just healing properties in general. And then the parsley is so full of minerals, and the minerals are really, really important when you're stressed. When you're stressed, you burn minerals like crazy. I don't know if you guys know that, but stress burns minerals. And so you definitely want to be doing something, eating foods that have a high mineral content, or high accessibility of minerals. Parsley is really, really good because the minerals are calming, and your B vitamins too. Parsley has all of those things in it, and is really quite mild in the tea or in the hot water. It's super awesome for that. But make sure you're getting your magnesium. Magnesium is really good for, well, you need 4 times the amount of magnesium as you do 1 part calcium. So to be absorbed by the body, it takes 4 parts magnesium to 1 part calcium. And a lot of people are magnesium deficient. I don't know if they're still doing it now, but a couple of years ago they were offering magnesium shots at the hospital because people, generally around here were so deficient in magnesium. And so magnesium has to do with your whole relaxation, muscle cramping. If you have muscle cramping, if you have leg restlessness, if you can't sleep at night, heart palpitations, all kinds of stuff. The magnesium is super helpful for the nervous system. And in fact, all minerals, right, are super helpful. So be sure that you're doing things for these stressful times, and physically, emotionally, and mentally. And I think I need another lemon. These lemons are not very juicy. They've got a pretty good zest on them, though, and we're going to be doing that next. So, what I'm doing today, what I'm drinking today, I should say, are the bay leaves. And these, I was so blessed this year to get real live bay leaves off the tree fresh, not like a bay leaf that's been sitting in a package, in the shelf for a couple of years. And the bay leaves have such incredible properties too, like they're antifungal, antiviral, as well. Really good for the respiratory system. They're anti-inflammatory, good for joint pain and arthritis and all that kind of stuff. And so, look to your cupboard for certain things that you might have that would be helpful. Okay, I have to stand up, you guys. I don't have enough. I don't have enough muscle to really get the juice out of these puppies. So we're gonna put some muscle into it. Okay, so there we go. And I'll redo these because I just need the weight. Sometimes you just need the weight to put some elbow grease into it. Now that one I did a pretty good job. Okay, let's go with this one. And there we go. Oh my gosh, okay. you know, sometimes I think as I'm getting older, oh my God, it's so important to be able to open a jar and squeeze a lemon. So keep up those exercises. Oh my God, because I do notice that it takes a little more effort than it used to for some things. All right, so we we have the lemon juice, and I'm going to add lemon zest. And so I think I'm just going to set that there because I'm not sure exactly how much juice I'm going to want to use. So we're going to get some zest going here. Which one of those had the thickest skin? I think it was this one. So yeah, so we're going to add some lemon zest to this. Okay, muscle again. Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, back to the bay leaves, and then there are things in your cupboard like rosemary is also a good one. It's antiviral, but it's not as antiviral as as thyme for this particular virus. Like I've been studying a lot of the research and a lot of the herbal recommendations, a lot of the supplement recommendations. I mean, all you guys know it's so important, especially as we're moving into fall. Your vitamin C is vitally important. Zinc, of course, is like right up there, if not the most important too. I think they kind of are you know, in competition with each other as to which one's most important. With your zinc, you want to have the quercetin in it. I mean, with it, the quercetin, and then vitamin D. So those seem to be the things that most people are like totally, everybody's in agreement with. And then, you know, and then there are just so many herbs. So I have said this before, but in case you missed it, in a lot of the studies in China that they've worked with, trying to figure out what seems to be working against the virus. And actually, surprisingly, for a Western herb, which is not really a herb or a Western spice, cinnamon is coming up as #1 antiviral through the research there. And so you wouldn't think so. Cinnamon's such a innocent little thing, little spice, but it's coming up super effective. So if you can put a cinnamon stick in your tea, or sprinkle cinnamon, you could even sprinkle, I know people that sprinkle cinnamon in their coffee, sprinkle cinnamon in whatever it is that you're drinking or eating as much as you can, because the cinnamon has like super tons of research on how antiviral it is for this particular issue. And so I'm trying to get like a tablespoon. Well, I don't have that much there. That's probably enough. Yeah, so use your cinnamon for sure. And the next one that was coming up a lot in the China studies was licorice, which isn't something you're going to have in your kitchen cupboard. But it's just interesting that that's the other one. And then there are many, many herbs. Working with the lymphatic system, working with the immune system is super important. And so one of the things that I have used, or that's coming up super high in the research, is cleavers, which I have cleavers actually in my Vitality tea. So I was really pleased to see that I had been making this tea for the past 5 years, and it happens to have exactly what we need. So, you know, I made it. The reason I made the formula that I made it was for the immune system, but I didn't know it was going to be like that important during these times in particular. Okay, so we have the lemon zest. Okay, let's get that in there. I'm distracting myself. These are going to be nice and tart. Okay, we'll put that in, and then we're going to put in the vanilla, just a little. I don't want too much. I'm gonna go with not much. I'd say 4 heaping drops of vanilla, just a bit. Okay, and we're gonna add the maple syrup too, because we want these, you know, not super lemony and a little bit tart. So it's actually gonna be quite interesting to have this with the Slippery hands. See, you need to do your exercises, because if you have slippery hands and you're trying to open something, sometimes it doesn't work very good. It'll be interesting having a little bit of raspberry in there. Okay, so again, I don't want this super sweet, but I am going to add a lot of lemon. So I'm going to try to shoot for, I'll try and do it so you can see, 2 heaping tablespoons. 1, 2. I don't see any volunteers that want to write down my recipes for me, do I, yet? I do need someone, and I would pay them to do that too, if you know of anybody. Oh, okay, for the licorice root, yeah, licorice root, like licorice root in a tea, if you have licorice root, the actual root, I don't mean like black licorice or red licorice or anything like that. If you have actual licorice root, just stick a root in some hot water and drink it as a tea. The thing you do have to remember with licorice root, like if you're doing it if you're pouring the hot water over the licorice root, you're going to get some medicinal qualities and the antiviral effect, right? But it's not, it's going to be gentle because it's like the whole plant, and most plants have their own buffering system so that you don't ingest too much or you'll feel kind of yucky if you do. And then that's the plant and your body working together to say, okay, that's enough of that. And but if you're taking licorice root medicinally, then that is a concentration. That is like more of a medicine, and it's a concentration. Concentrated, you can buy concentrated licorice products at the health food store, but those are very concentrated, and those cannot be used if you have high blood pressure. So, or if you're on high blood pressure medication, you have to be careful how much licorice root you use. But if you're just sticking a root in a cup of tea, pouring hot water over it, it gives you the antiviral properties, and it's completely as a whole food, so to speak. It's completely safe that way and won't interfere with high blood pressure. But if you're taking a supplement, then you've concentrated that licorice root, and so that way it's going to be much more, it's going to be much more effective, which could interfere with blood pressure medication. The other thing you can do if you do want to work with licorice root is you can get a deglycerized licorice, and that one doesn't interfere with the high blood pressure. Licorice root's very, very antiviral, antifungal. It's got so many good qualities. So, but anyway, that's just a little explanation on that. Make sure that you know that you are either, if you are on any medications at all, you need to be working with a certified herbalist or a pharmacist that knows the interactions between the herbs and the drugs, because you can buy things at the health food store and not knowing, mix it with your medication and have not good effects. So make sure that you're working with someone that knows the different contraindications. Okay, so where were we? We did the vanilla. I think that's it. I think we're just adding a little maple syrup and vanilla and just enough. Just enough to make it go through the blender. So I'm going to add some here. And, oh yeah, I think we can add all of that. Might even need to add some water. I'm just going to go around the sides here because it is, yep, I'm going to add the rest. Okay, one of the things you can add to this too, I think I just forgot something. I get so distracted when I'm talking, you guys. I think I was supposed to do this in something else. I think I wasn't supposed to blend all that in the Vitamix. I was supposed to pour it in something else and then mix it. So, okay, plan B. Or are we on C yet? We generally go through many plans. The handy chopstick is a handy thing. Always good to keep. Okay, now I have raspberry on my face and lemon. That just splashed right on me. Okay, good thing I keep paper towels right here. I don't think it's on my glasses. Okay, all right, I'm not going to aim this at me. I aim this to the side. And It's still trying to get me. So just let me know if I've got oats stuck to my face. Okay, yeah. This, when I talk to you guys, it's so much fun talking about herbs and medicines and different teas and healing properties. And then sometimes I just get so distracted that I don't remember the next thing I'm supposed to be doing, which happens anyways. Okay, I wonder if I should just pour this out. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. My plan was to do the mix and then get it out of there and then put this in. But this is a Vitamix, and Vitamixes can do anything. They can make soups. They can make all kinds of things. Okay, let's just carry on and whip this up and see what happens. What we're after here is a lemon bar. Sorry. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. I just had another thought of what might work if this doesn't. That's all. I just distract myself with all these ideas. All right. Lid. Where's the lid? Beautiful lid. Thank you, Monique. That is lovely. All right. Let's go. Okay, so now this worked, but I realized that I didn't bring, that's okay, I didn't bring a mold, like a mold, you know, like one of those molds to put it in. But because I am going to put this in the freezer, when you're working with coconut oil, it just slides right out. You know, you just bring it out for a couple minutes, and because of the coconut oil, it should just slide out of this. I do really like using these molds. If you guys cool down enough now. Just throwing things off the table. I really do like working with these, and I have another one. I won't run and get it right now because I'm way behind. But I have another one that has like the little squares, and that was my plan, to put this in. And since it's over there and I'm not going to run around the kitchen with you guys, I'm just going to put it in here. But the first next thing that you need to do is, okay, before we try and put it in a mold. I know I drive you guys nuts. Go like this. Just go like this. Just get it into the bowl, and then we're going to add the coconut oil. So the reason we're adding it last is because the lemons were a little bit cool, and now that I am aware of the coconut oil solidifying when things are cold, I mean, I always was aware, I just didn't think about it. Does that make sense? So we're going to put this together, add the coconut oil, and then we're going to put it in the mold, which in this case, you know what, I think I'll just put it in those 3 molds just to show you guys, and then after I'll go get my little square ones. I don't sell Epicure, but I do have a friend that does, if anyone's interested, but I mean, probably a lot of people have friends that do. And these little things, like it's a little tiny square. It's probably like 1/2 inch, or maybe it's 1 inch by 2, and they're the perfect size for these bars, these lemon bars. And the other thing that you can do is you can put poppy seeds on top, which I don't happen to have any, but if you don't have any, what you can use is chia seeds, which are super healthy too. Chia seeds have all kinds of great properties. Okay, so this, I'm just gonna feel, and it is a little cool. So when I mix the melted coconut oil in it, I need to work quickly and stir, if I can get it to not spin around on my table. Okay, I'll just go lightly. Okay, so we're just mixing this coconut oil in. So what that's gonna do, I really love working with this, with the melted coconut oil, because it makes it have almost like a icy square consistency, kind of like cheesecake. It's just so awesome. Okay, so we're just mixing this coconut oil in, and it's not solidifying too much yet. And the only problem is my lemon bars look like raspberry colors because we left the raspberry in there, but that's okay. It's a very long video. All right, I will hurry up, you guys. I know you need to go. Okay, so we're just going to put that in there. And what I'll do is I will get the little square ones and put them in that, and then I will take a picture and show you guys. But anyway, it would be something like that with the square ones, and you put it in the freezer, and then they come out and you can turn them upside down, and they're beautiful. If you want to, I forgot to say another thing. When you're using these squares, I completely forgot until now, if you want to use them upside down for your recipes, like these particular ones have crust in the bottom, so you really wouldn't do that because it's got like the nuts and the dates and everything. So turning them upside down is not really going to make them prettier. But if you're using an empty one here, you can put your chia seeds or poppy seeds or whatever you want in the bottom, and then put this on top, and then when you turn it over, it'll have like the little speckles. Like you could do that with chocolate chips or anything like that, depending on what you're making with these molds. You can decorate them by putting something in the bottom before you put your whatever's going to firm up, and yeah, however you're going to use that. Anyway, I have kept you guys like so forever, and thank you. Little recap here. We have sweet potato, carrot, coconut soup, and we have beautiful raspberry cheesecake, please cakes, and we have lemon bars. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning at 11. Thanks for hanging out. It was so much fun, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Check out my Instagram and my YouTube channel and subscribe.